guys? We're at it with another episode. Today, I wanted to come and speak to you about one of my tweets when I said, men's kryptonite, sex and lust. Just wanted to let that marinate for a second. So, sex and lust. Those are the carnal mind. That's your lower self. Like, sex is good with the right person. However, that lusting, you know, I'm speaking from from paradigm and from experiences and from what I've not like real shit. Like when you gotta say no to pretty woman, like your younger boy self, who would think like, damn, like like growing up, you're just taught like fuck, right? Like just get laid, like all that. Even saying just get laid, it like the context, because the hidden, like when you gotta look at letters and like the meaning between like the letters, the vowels, the verbiage. What are the actual context behind it? Kind of take a sip real quick. What's the actual context behind it? Because like laid, that's NDA information. Anyways, like, well, actually, I could reference it from this context because each time, like you deplete, each time you bust a nut, right, and you having sex with all these women. First off, you don't want like no planting your seed in random people. You gotta plant your seed in a good foundation, and that good foundation is when you find yourself a great lady, and y'all get along with each other. The numerology is intact. The numerology matches up because the numerology precedes everything. And then next thing's God. Do you feel like that soul connection with her? Like there's like an internal feeling that you feel. If that matches up, then go get married because these females out. No disrespect to all the ladies out there. We love you. We love you. And from this episode, well, I'm going to say hope because hope is not a strategy. We know that y'all will find your Prince Charming out there. Just the real question is going to come down to, it's not do you want a wife or do you want a husband? It's really, are you ready to be that person? Because the most important thing is to be it, because be do have. Anyways, we're back to the men, kryptonite, sex, and lust. Well, that actually brings up that it's actually connected to my point because like there's, thank God, my experience say fuck that shit. Like you can always tell because then like nothing ain't free because free has fee in it. And like when you're lusting over like porn star bitches, like when you go on that porn, because like yo, transparency, the first time I ever watched porn was, I think it was like the fourth grade because I was at one of my friend's house and then their brother showed it because like yeah. And it's just like yo, because what that does to a boy at that age, like to the brain, like if you see the studies that what the porn industry has been doing to like people's brains, like it's man and female. Like remember porn, like how it is now from before, that always wasn't a natural thing. Like there's sex workers, so like it employs other people and stuff like that. However, like for the men, man, cut that shit out. Go get jacked. We got a country to preserve and to grow. I don't even know if that's the verbiage to use, because preserve, like you're just preserving it, but we're always expanding and we're always growing. So don't deplete your energy, because that sex and the lust will really get you distracted and fucking with the wrong people. For real, man. Take it from experience. Like I know, and that's funny because I remember in the 6th grade I asked this guy, I don't know if he would want me to say it, guy's named Hector. I remember we were playing basketball, and I remember it was like the left side of the court. I remember asking him, I was like, yo, because when I was in the 6th grade, I was fucking sex hungry, like I was horny, like. And to think about it, if you're like 15, 14, listening to this episode, and like you're gonna feel those hormones, like you're horny and stuff. the best thing you could do for yourself is to transmute that energy into creativeness or whatever talent you have to just build yourself up. Let me tell you, that energy is so potent, and it's very intense, and you have to find a way. Like, you're gonna have, it's probably gonna be a bitch voice inside, like, that you're gonna want to know all this shit, but no, like, channel that so you could use that. So instead of it being a kryptonite, it's a motherfucking superpower. So how do you do that? It really comes down to your awareness and being able to say no. Yep, you heard me. Being able to say no. That's what a lot of things in life, though. But yeah, I know you guys are waiting for me to say, like, with with like sex and lust. You see the people that got caught up with that shit. Like, she could be baddest, fattest ass, fat titties, all that stuff, right? And so fucking try to go take all half and all that shit. Like, I mean, there's ways around it. If you have, like, trust, all that stuff, go study. Yeah, remember, if you guys want me to create another episode on that, it's important to set your names up on, like, other things, because that's what they do. It's like you don't really own anything because the ownership is in the other companies, the other entities' names. But that's a whole nother conversation. So we're back to the point. Men's kryptonite, sex and lust. Because if you're lusting over another female, that's how you give your power to other females. And men, you don't give your power to other people. You keep your power for yourself, and you raise your Christ consciousness brain. Let me take a sip real quick. And with that being said, when you're lusting over females, they could tell that energy. And females, because we don't call females bitches. We got respect for the females out there, the ladies out there. Y'all heard? So yeah, we have respect for the ladies out there. And the reason why I say females is because the females, they could tell when you're needy. Needy females don't like needy men. So when you're lusting over females, they could tell, and then they try to manipulate it, all that stuff. And I'm not saying that's everybody, because if you, like, look at, like, TV shows, or even, like, certain examples, like, with billionaires that, like, happened, that got in those situations. What was it, that one soccer player got into that situation, like, I think that was, like, a year ago, some shit, like, all that bullshit. It's like, damn, it's fucking crazy. And it all comes down to controlling, like on the other episode, impulses. But it really comes down to, for a man, if you can control, what is it, these three things. You can control the food that you eat, if you can control the physical exertion that you're doing, if you can control, like, your sex, brother, you'll be good. Female, to the females out there, the ladies, yeah, find you a pure one. Especially nowadays, a lot of these females are going for the unvaccinated men because their sperm is at all. Their sperm price is going up, and all we could shit. Interesting times and stuff like that. It's really fascinating how these scientists are able to come up with all these, like, things and shit that they're able to, like, put underneath. It's fucking fascinating. It's actually fucked up, but because it's like, it's fascinating if they were doing good for people, but then, like, really, like, they're basically just doing, like, the demise on people, which is fucked up. But back to the sex and lust being men's kryptonite. You can't, like, especially for the men out there, because speaking from experience, when they say they call it the enemy years, right? But, like, you really look at it like polarity. So when I mean polarity is because during this year you could be faced with, like, lessons, and it's a test for you to pass. I'll speak from my paradigm and what happened to me and what I learned and what I just realized. So in 2017, that was my enemy year, right? Because that was the year of the rooster. Born in the cat year, 2023 cat year. So during that year, during my enemy sign, this pretty girl came in my life, right? And it's funny because when I think about it now, like, that was at the end That was at the end of no, that was right at the beginning of the enemy year, and I was with these two different girls at the same time, and like, right, that was 6 years ago, and I have to admit, like, we're a whole different person now, and I realized during that time period, like, being with two different girls, that was a fucking waste of time. Could have been more in the gym, because at that phase in my life, I was at the Patrick School, hooping, and like, that's why I'm telling you, like, don't get, like, if you're around that age 16, 17, like, don't get caught up with these females, like, have them desire you, because on some real shit, words of affirmation, I only know what it's like for females to miss me. Bar. Big show right there. No, but on a real note, like, I have to admit, so that happened, right? You know, looks good on Instagram, body, but like, basically, it was the lustful mind, and then I was in a relationship with this other girl that I should have left, because then it's funny. I learned from 16 to 17, the lessons was, if a girl leaves you for another person, never let that person back in. And then two is, don't make decisions. I mean, at that age, that's why that's why your big brother's here, cause your big brother, big brother, uncle, he's big, nice and lean. Boom. I don't got the camera on today, but so it's really coming down to like, yeah, like, at that phase I got distracted, because, like, you're gonna wanna, you know what, for the brothers out there, the youngins, there's good women out there, like, and I'm, because it's like, you really hate to see it, because, like, when you look at a woman, like, you don't want to objectify her, like, just based off of her body. Like, if she has a great body and she also has, like, a good head on her shoulder, then, brother, that's a great win. Especially mindset, like, really comes down to that. But at the same time, a body can be an improvement. It's called just getting in the gym. And ladies, brothers, if you have ladies out there that need to get better at the gym, just send them to JDO Performance Training. Send them to Get Fit with John. Instagram, all social platforms. Yeah, so sex and lust, men's kryptonite. During that phase, yeah, I got caught too. Like, let me tell you, during that enemy year, like, I didn't realize that till now when I started learning this information, like, for the past year, and it's like, hey, yo, like, when Steve Jobs says that you could really, like, you can't connect the dots going forward, but you can only connect them going back, like, yeah. And then here's another thing. On top of that, later in that year, I ended up starting a relationship with this girl, and that's another thing. Rule number 2: don't start new relationships in your enemy year, or even under that 7 energy. Cause that's another thing. This year, 2023, was a 7 energy, so with relationships, they were being tested, and also it wasn't the best year to start a relationship, or even to get married and stuff like that. With that imprinted 7 energy, it's a big no-no. Just to let y'all know. And yeah, like, learn from me, man. I mean, I have to admit, though, during that time period, like, you feel alive. But when you get caught, like, it's the high and the low. Like, take it from me, brother. Sister, don't do it. Don't waste your time. That's with multiple females. Even though you're going to have the red pill community tell you that it's best that you do that. I wouldn't even say red pill, because they have some truth. Every person has some truth to it. You just got to see what really works for you. And I'm just saying, if you have a moral compass, then messing with multiple females is just gonna be like on your head. Unless, if you can handle that with your business and all that stuff, you're taking care of your things, you're taking care of your business, taking care of yourself, and you can fuck with multiple bitches and it doesn't take an emotional drain on you, by all means, go ahead. Ain't nobody judging. At the end of the day, you gotta live with it yourself. And if you got time for all that, shit, by all means. Let me tell you, that shit takes out time from the things that you can be doing. Because on the next episode, or the next few episodes, I'm doing an episode on the war on time, and how they try to take all the time from you. So maybe all these different females that ain't your wife, even though they look bad as fuck, they could be sent from the opposite. Even though whenever we mention Satan, Satan is a liar. So, like, maybe all these females be deceiving and all that shit. So, you gotta figure out, is it worth your time? And could you be utilizing that time to be able to create other things that would be more beneficial to you and others? So, that's why I say sex and lust is men's kryptonite, because it feels so fucking good. Yet, just like when you eat a cupcake or when you go to any fast food chain restaurant, feels good in the moment, and then maybe feels like shit later. But hey, you really got to figure out what you truly desire. I'm just letting you know from experience that it ain't worth it. Because I remember that shit. Let me tell you, when I got caught during that time period, I saw my text message after a great training session. Yo, that shit. If you have morals, that shit would be like, because then it's like unnecessary drama. And brother, sister, you don't need that in your life. So, sex and lust, men's kryptonite. And why is it men's kryptonite? Because it takes a brother's mind off the mission. See ya on the next one.